Hi, welcome to Muna Meditation and more. How are you guys doing today? So, I was on early this morning and I'm actually coming back on again. This is actually my last session. We had a challenge and this is actually going to be the last session. And what I thought I'd leave you with is a really nice meditation. So, this is a little bit more advanced. And it might be a little bit of a challenge. Okay, so we'll just start off with a meditation first, where we're just going to exhale all of our breath. I'm going to teach this again, where we take our hands and we exhale. Close your eyes. Let the inhale come naturally. And do 6 more. You can keep count on your fingertips. Third exhalation. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. Great. Now we're going to take that breath and notice, we're going to put our hand here up by the collarbone, this one here. So it's on your back here on the last rib, and your pinky is on the last rib here. And go ahead and take a nice inhalation. And exhale all the air out, even if you have to pull in your belly button towards the spine. And let the breath come in naturally. So we're taking that breath from the lower ribs up to here, okay, to the top of the lungs in the front, okay? We're gonna try it again 6 more times. We're focusing on the exhalation and we're letting the inhalation come in naturally, okay? 6 more times. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Last one. Now we're going to take this hand, put it on the back, and we're going to have the breath go from the lower lungs up here in the back. Six more times. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Great. So you're in a comfortable seated position for anybody coming in and tuning in. What we've done so far is we've exhaled our breath, and you can go and catch up by starting with 4. And we're just noticing how the expansion is in our lungs, in the lower lungs, in the front and in the back, in the top of the lungs and in the back of the lungs here. We're just noticing where the breath goes, how it moves. We're going to go ahead and lower our arms down and our hands. They can be palms facing down or palms facing up, whichever is most comfortable for you. The crown of the head is going upwards. Your spine is in a neutral, straight position. You're tucking almost in the pelvis as if you were zipping up your jeans. Okay, great. And your sit bones are grounded and rooting and grounded towards the earth, as if, let's say there was a string pulling you from your sit bones and a string pulling you from the crown of your head, okay? Your shoulders are back and down, and your shoulder blades are meeting in the back, so your alignment is good there. Your hips are higher than your knees in your comfortable seated position. And we'll go ahead and try another 4 breaths from your lower ribs up to here, and you're noticing your exhalation. You're getting rid of all of the stale air, that which doesn't serve you a positive purpose at this time. And we'll start now. Second exhalation. Third. And 4th. Just going to put our hand on our heart, the other hand on our solar plexus, close our eyes, and notice how that feels. We're going to notice the next 10 breaths without any control, any judgment, or any criticism. We're just going to notice where the breath goes. And we're starting now. You can keep count on your fingertips from your thumb to your pinky. Great. We're going to lower our hands back down into our lap. And we're going to go from 10 to 1. So you go from this pinky to this pinky. And we'll start now. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with what's called a drishti gaze or a focal point, but the concept is to take your gaze and go about 6 feet in front of you and just kind of let your eyes focus on that one point. So we're going to do another 10 breaths, noticing our breaths, but also now focusing on one point in front of us, on a focal point, on the floor. And we're going to go ahead and start now. Okay. So as you're getting ready to come up onto the 10th one, we're going to do what's called round breathing, 9-round breath. We're going to go ahead and try that. Now, for some of you that are advanced practitioners, we're inhaling through the right nostril, exhaling through the left, inhaling, exhaling. Okay, for the others, when you do that, if you can't do it without the fingers, what you'll want to do is put your first finger and your middle finger down, and your thumb and these two fingers here are up. So it looks like that, actually. Or if you're using the other hand, like if you're left-handed, it looks like that, okay? So you would actually close with this one and then go to that one, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and start that. If you need to blow your nose, I'm just gonna wait for a few seconds for a couple of people or anybody who might need to maybe blow their nose or something like that. That's fine. Okay, great. So we're gonna go ahead and do the next 9. And one more for good measure. Great. Okay. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and close your eyes. And this is gonna be an imagery meditation. So you're gonna close your eyes and you're gonna imagine that so actually open your eyes, sorry. You're gonna imagine, I'm gonna have you build something, okay? Or imagine something. And I'm just gonna show you with my fingertips. Do you see where the ends of my fingertips are right now? Okay, well, maybe not. I might have to back up. Okay, sorry. So do you see where my fingertips are right now in relation to my body? Okay. All right, so just imagine this right here as being an outline where my fingertips are. You see how they start up here and they come down, okay? Now imagine that, now you can close your eyes and imagine that you are in almost like an egg shape around your body. Okay, imagine an egg shape around your body, okay? So go ahead and draw this egg from where you saw my fingers above my head all the way around your body, okay? Imagine that it's almost like an egg, okay? It's like a clear egg, glass, or I don't know, the most protective, clear substance that you can think of, okay? And you're imagining that you are in the middle, okay, of this egg that's almost like a candy egg, as it were, but the protective, clear egg that you're kind of building around you right now is kind of like your personal space bubble, right? You know how everybody has, this kind of personal space bubble. And imagine that this personal space bubble is protecting you, okay? Just imagine that it's protecting you. If you want to, you may even breathe your arms up over your head, turn them as they're facing down, and wiggle your fingers out as they come down, and then pretend that you're just kind of clearing out that egg of any kind of negative, yucky stuff. Anything that doesn't serve you a positive purpose at that time. You're just clearing it out of your egg so that your protective egg, we'll even call it crystal. Let's call it crystal or the diamond egg. Let's call it the diamond egg. Diamonds are really, really hard. It's a very hard substance and clear. Okay, so we're going to make this diamond egg around us. It's going to protect us. Nothing can get in. No bad energy, no bad thoughts, nothing, okay? And here you are in this egg, and it's protecting you, okay? Now imagine that the sun is above your egg. And imagine how the sun feels on the top of your head, going all the way down your body really slowly, as if the sun was being poured like water over the top of your head. Imagine that that water is cleaning away any impurities, any negative afflictions, any problems that you have right now. And it's just washing it away. And it's keeping that inner egg nice and clear. Okay, nice and clear. Great. Outstanding. Take a nice breath in. And focus on your exhale. And let go of all of the stale air, all of the afflictions, any problems that arose today. Let go of them at this time. Imagine that that water, that beautiful sun water, is just cleaning everything away and getting rid of everything. Leaving that which does not serve you a positive purpose at this time. And go ahead and notice your next 10 breaths. And as you feel ready, you can put one hand on your heart, one hand on your solar plexus. Close your eyes. Go into yourself. Notice how that feels. Now, imagine that you're taking that stale exhalation and you're blowing it out like gray smoke into a bubble, like a bubble that you would blow as a little kid from soap bubbles, okay? And imagine it going up into the air and then popping it with your finger and letting it dissipate away. So in the next 10 breaths, imagine that happening on your exhalation, and then just let the inhalation come in naturally, starting now. Last one. Okay, great. Go ahead and close your eyes. Put your hand on your solar plexus, one on your chest, the opposite hand. And notice where you are from when you first started the breathing. No judgment, no criticism, just noticing the breath. In the next, I want to say 7 breaths. I'm going to have you imagine as you're breathing out the word hope. You're going to draw it in cursive or however you draw. Imagine you're writing the word hope as you exhale. As you inhale, write the word peace. Okay, great. So go ahead and close your eyes. It's sometimes easier for people if they close their eyes. If you don't want to, you're welcome to keep your drishti gaze, whatever's comfortable for you. And in the next 7 breaths, we're going to write hope as we exhale and peace as we inhale. So now I don't want you to be frustrated. If that exercise is a little bit frustrating, instead of writing it, you can just say the words as you exhale and breathe. Exhale and inhale. So we're going to do another set of 7. We're going to try it again. And this time, instead of writing it, we're just going to say the words. Hope as we exhale, peace as we inhale. Let's try it again. Okay, great. In this last set, we're going to say compassion as we breathe in and gratitude as we breathe out. Okay. And just notice how you feel. Bring some awareness to your fingertips. And just kind of rock back and forth out of the waist. And do some circles just to get some energy back in. And we're going to do that 4 times around. So exhale forward. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Opposite way. And last time. Go ahead and bring our knees up, feet together. And I invite you to bend them to one side as we slowly do some cat and cows just to get the spine okay. Sometimes when we're working all day, it just, it can really start to bother you a little bit. So what I invite you to do is start this from the back, from your sit bones, the movement. Okay, so a neutral spine looks like this. Your hand crease is underneath your elbows. Your knees are underneath your hips. You can have your toes, you can have your toes activated if you need to, which means that you're up on the tips of your toes, or you can have them like this, okay? But the idea generally is to have them about hip width apart. I'm gonna go ahead and put my feet down so it's not active for you guys. And then this tracks back to be directly underneath your shoulder, just so that you're in proper alignment. You don't get injured or anything else like that, okay? All right. So we're going to start off with some cat and cows. Okay. And what they kind of look like is you'll lower your sit bones and round your back and tuck your chin into your chest. And go ahead and take a nice inhalation into your back and go ahead and see what that feels like in between your shoulder blades. Okay? And exhale out. And lower your sit bones. And push into the floor. And look straight ahead. On the exhale. On the inhale, lower the sit bones, round the back. We're going to do this 3 more times. On the exhale, go ahead and raise your sit bones, sink down your belly, press into your hands, and look straight. And on the inhalation, go ahead and tuck your sit bones, round your back, tuck your chin. Go ahead and send breath in between the shoulder blades. And exhale. The sit bones up, belly sinking to the floor, eyes looking straight, and push up with your hands. Last one. And go ahead and exhale into neutral. We're going to exhale and look over our shoulders and take a look at the back hip. Inhale. Exhale to the center. Inhale. Exhale to the other opposite side. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to the center. Go ahead and now go into your child's pose. I know that in the previous videos we discussed props. So if at any point your knees are bothering you, you can put pillows underneath them. Pillows in between your sit bones and your heel in child's pose. You can also go like this. You don't have to put your head all the way to the floor. Or you could go like this as well. And whatever version is best for you. Also, if you're in cat and cow and you noticed that your wrists were bothering you, you can make a fist instead of putting it down like this. This is nice because it's a joint release, and for a lot of people who have carpal tunnel and they're typing on computers, this is a nice stretch for you. But if that's too much today, you can just make a straight fist, okay, when being here. Okay, so that's a modification that's nice. You can also put a pillow or roll your yoga mat or a blanket and put it underneath your knees. Okay, great. All right, so before we go into child's pose, we'll go back into a couple more cat and cows and looking at our hips. I call them C formations. So if we want to go into our C formation, go ahead and get your props so that you're very comfortable, and let's go ahead and try this again. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate with the fists down. Shoulder width apart, directly under the shoulder for alignment. Wrists are straight if you're going to do the fist. If you're going to do the fist, you might as well activate your back toes by, if you'd like to, you can go ahead and do that. It might be more stable for you. And go ahead and lower the sit bones, round the back. And exhale the sit bones up. Sink the belly to the floor. And look straight, pressing into the hands. Inhale your sit bones up. And inhale into in between the shoulder blades. Go ahead and exhale your sit bones up, sinking your belly to the floor, pushing up into your fists and looking straight. We'll do 2 more of those before we go into the C formations. Inhale your sit bones down around the back. Send the breath in between the shoulder blades. And on the exhale, raise the sit bones, lower the belly, and push into the hands and look straight. Last one. Inhale your sit bones, round your back. Inhale into the center between the shoulder blades. Get a nice stretch in there. It's a nice sensation. And exhale, raise your sit bones, lower your belly, push into your hands, and look straight. We're going to go ahead and exhale, look at our hip. Inhale, put your feet on the floor straight. Exhale to the center. Inhale. Exhale to the other side. Inhale. Exhale, inhale to the center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale. Exhale and inhale to the center at your own pace. And for that is comfortable for you, exhale to the other side. Inhale. And exhale into the center. Inhale. Slide your feet forward towards your hands. Now sitting back into child's pose. Wiggle these fingers out if you've had them in fists. And go ahead and do some wrist rolls. Great. If you need to, you can go over to one side and just kind of do some ankle rolls right here. Go breathe into the middle. Inhale. Exhale to the other side. Do some some ankle rolls. Opposite way. Do them as slow or as quickly as you need. We're going to go back on to the middle. And we're going to go into our child's pose. So I'm going to invite you to either take something like a piece of fabric, a sock, or if you're able to, go ahead and interlace your fingers back here. You can point them if you want to, or you can just do this. However, with that being said, if that is not something in your wheelhouse or in your flexibility, you can also take a piece, like a sock or a scarf or any piece of fabric, a belt, and go ahead and do this, okay? If you're all the way out here, that's fine, okay? The reality is that you'll feel the stretch as you lower your head and lift your arms off your back. And, in any of these poses, I invite you to, go ahead and feel the stretch. And once you feel the stretch, back off a little bit, okay? There's no need for injury or overstressing things or overstretching things. So we want to keep, everything very fluid and flexible. Don't really want you to have any pain here, This is just about getting some movement into the area and some flexibility. Okay, so let's do it slowly. And what we're gonna do is sit down on the back of our heels. We're gonna slowly lower our head to the ground. And we're gonna bring our hands up off the back to whatever height is comfortable for you. Okay? And with the breath, and go ahead, if you're interlacing your fingers, go ahead and do the opposite way now. Now, I'm going to show you this fun little stretch that I do. I kind of turn a little bit this way, by that much. And I turn a little bit on the other side, okay? With my arms, being very mindful of my neck and making sure I don't overstretch it. Okay, great. You just want to feel a slight sensation. You don't want to feel too much. So if you're feeling too much, I want you to back off, okay? Okay, great. So we're lowering our hands down. We're going to actually go forward and press up into our first downward dog of the day. And because it's our first dog, we're just going to walk it out. So as far as your dog is considered, you're kind of gripping, the floor like this. The mound of your hand is actually not touching the floor. Just the heel and these fingertips are like gripping the floor, okay? Your back is in a neutral position. And the idea is for the hips to go up, but your back needs to be straight and neutral. So I'm going to go back here and kind of show you what that kind of looks like. Here they were underneath your hip crease, and this was underneath the shoulder. You're actually going to walk it up about, whatever comfortable for you. But you're going to kind of reach, take a nice reach up, not like really high. And what you'll do is you'll put your toes on the floor and you'll pick your knees up. And then you kind of shift backwards up into your hips. And then what you do is you lower the feet by pedaling them out. I step forward just a little bit. And that might feel good to you guys. Sometimes I tell people you can lift your feet up off the floor. Just kind of check where you're at. Your hands are a little bit, at least shoulder width apart. But obviously everybody has different bodies. So your hands might be wider. That's okay. Your feet might be wider if you have wider hips, right? So, play with the mechanics of your own body and know what's good for you. Go ahead and lower our feet to the ground and go back into child's pose. You can either have your hands outstretched forward or you can bring them back to the sides of you. We're going to go back into downward dog. And what we're going to do now is we're going to lift the foot up straight behind us, three-legged dog. If you want to, you can go into your hip opener. And if you're really feeling like it, you could go into wild thing at this time. That's really up to you. You don't have to. You can stay right here in three-legged dog, which is fine. You could also stay here with the hip opener. And you can bring it back through for a lunge. Okay. So this next one, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna bring this hand over to the side, okay? And I'm gonna prep for pigeon, okay? So pigeon can either look like this, or you can bring it out at the 90-degree angle if you want to, and grab your foot in the back. And that's really whatever version of pigeon is for you. If you need to bring it closer and you need to recline your pigeon, that's fine too. So go ahead and go into your version of pigeon. If it's a moving pigeon, that's cool. Whatever works for you today. And to come back out of our pigeon, we're gonna activate these 2 feet. We're gonna focus our attention into the mounds of the hand. We're gonna ground this back left foot because we're gonna pick this knee up. Okay? And we're going into 3-legged dog. Placing it back down. We're gonna bring the other foot back up for 3-legged dog in your version of it, okay? So you can either pick it up like this, you can do your hip opener, you can go into wild thing if you need to, okay? You know, whatever you're feeling like is your expression today, or just 3-legged. And then we're gonna bring it forward for pigeon. So whatever your version of pigeon is, you know, before you can be like this, you can be reclined. You can be in a moving pigeon, if that's where you're at today. You can be over here at the 90-degree angle and you can pick up your foot, if that's your expression of pigeon. Now I'm gonna invite you to actually sit on this. Bring the knee up. Bring the leg out in front. This leg in. Go ahead and take the flash from your sit bones away so you can ground into your sit bones. Have you breathe your hands up, back in place, and fold forward. Now, if you need to put a pillow under your leg, that's fine. But the reality is this is coming from the hip crease. So if you don't go all the way down your toes, that's not the goal. I mean, I guess eventually it's the goal. But really what we're looking for is that nice stretch from the Achilles all the way up, okay? And if you just have the integrity of your spine in a neutral spine, and you just tilt forward a little bit, maybe you only go 1 inch, maybe you go ½ an inch, maybe you go 2 inches, okay? Whatever the version of that forward fold is today, I want it to be coming from the hip crease. If you need to put your hands here in order to keep the integrity of your spine, then go ahead and do so. Stay a couple breaths here. And come out of it as you're ready. Go ahead and straighten the other leg. Bring your sit bones out of place. We're going to take our hands and ground them away from our ears. We're going to point our toes up to the sky. The crown of our head is reaching up. Sit bones are grounded and you have a neutral spine. We're going to go ahead and take this knee, bring it out, and bring the foot up here. If you need to put a pillow underneath here, that's fine, okay? And if you need to put a pillow under here, that's fine. So those are the 2 nice props that you could, get yourself today. I'm going to go ahead and take the flesh away from our sit bones, and we're going to go ahead into another forward fold. So we're keeping the integrity of our spine. And we're just doing the forward fold from the hip crease. And we'll take a couple breaths there again. Great. Now we're going to take both legs out and just take a nice stretch over them. We're going to take the soles of our feet and just butterfly that out for a little bit. Great. We're going to slide our feet forward, and we're going to roll one vertebrae at a time into bridge. And you roll one vertebrae up. If you want to brace yourself, that's fine, but we're going to do a moving bridge. We're going to lower on the inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to bring it up one vertebrae at a time into bridge, pushing into our feet and bringing the spine up off the floor one vertebrae at a time. We're going to roll the spine right back down onto the floor. As we exhale, we're going to roll it up one vertebrae at a time, pressing into our feet. And we're going to inhale it back down. I'll do that 2 more times. Now, if you're a more advanced practitioner, there's a couple ways to do this. I'll show you a couple versions, but you can eventually go into plow, okay? So you can either do, and I'm going to show you a couple versions. You can either do this where you're going to roll back and you're going to bring your legs up. Or you could bring them over your head into plow. But it's whatever version for you is okay today. And if that is not okay at all, just watch. Okay? And then you can go into your forward fold. Okay, great. We're going to tuck our feet behind. And we're going to get a nice stretch in the back of our toes by sitting back like this on our heels with our toes like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to exhale, bring our feet up into a squat. Now for you guys that are ready for this, I will show you another pose. So this is preparatory for crow. Okay, so I don't know how many of you are familiar with crow, but what you're going to do is you're going to stabilize your hands, you're going to look forward, and you're going to bring your feet up off the floor, and you can kick out into plank if you'd like to, okay? You don't have to. Absolutely, you don't have to, but you could. So then what we're going to do is we're going to come backwards onto our heels and go into child's pose. Now, if your crow is here, which most people's are, what you're doing is you're just getting used to kind of bracing here and kind of playing with going and moving forward, okay? So if you haven't done crow before, I invite you to do this to kind of prepare for it, okay? And to play with just rocking back and forth into it, okay? Before you attempt to pick your feet up off the floor. You know, sometimes I tell people to put their toes down first and then pick up, if that makes sense, and then kick out. So you can go ahead and try that if you want to try it one more time. Great. Okay. Now for some of you, what we're in right now is we've gone back into plank. Now you can modify that by putting your knees down if you like to. Okay, you want to keep your back neutral. But you can be in plank. And I'm just gonna, if you know how to, you can either lower your knees or you can chaturanga into cobra. And in this cobra, what I'm gonna invite you to do, I'm gonna back up a little bit, is I invite you to keep your neck straight, look at the floor, track your fingers back here by the breast, pull your elbows in, and now pick your hands up off the floor and maybe just look a couple more inches forward and go back down. You can put one cheek on here. Go ahead and take 3 breaths here. Put your forehead down and take 3 breaths. Put the opposite hand on top and put your cheek to the other side. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in, and Glow, thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Now go ahead and track your hands back. You're gonna pick yourself up off the floor. Bring your knees forward, actually. I'm gonna have you walk. I'm walking a little bit towards you guys. I'm actually gonna have you just sit back on your heels for a second. Bring your hand to your heart and that to your solar plexus, and just check in with yourself for a second. Okay, I'm gonna invite you to go back into this position. I'm just gonna rock it out. Now what we're gonna do is we're ground our heels, pushing up. Our hands are on the floor. We're bending our knees. We're raising our hands. And your knees are hip width apart. If your hands hurt, your shoulders hurt, you can go like this. Or you can go like this. That's fine. Or you can put them in the back, interlacing them. That gives you a nice stretch in the back. So you can do this. And go ahead and rise out of it into mountain. Exhale, bring your hands up. Grow tall. And go ahead and breathe down to a half lift. Looks like this. And you're kind of doing an external rotation. Your spine is neutral. You're looking down at the floor. Crown of the head is pointing to the opposite wall. And go ahead and go all the way down for a forward fold. If you need to bend your knees, that's great. Just make sure there's no tension in your neck. You can move your head from right to left and front to back, and there's no tension. If you want to, you can even grab either arm. You can even make some nice little gentle motions and get some, nice twists in here if you'd like. Go ahead and breathe it all the way up. Great. And now we're going to prepare for a tree. Fun, fun, fun. First tree of the day. So go ahead and take your right foot, pick it up on the toes, and pick the toes up on your left foot just to ground the four corners of your feet. I want you to imagine that there's wheels like on a car or a truck on the bottom of your feet, and all four wheels are on the ground. You're going to put a micro bend in this knee. And your tree might look like this, could look like this, could look like this. Can bring it up here. Can have your arms up here, out here. You could interlace them if you're going for an eagle. It's up to you. Okay? You can have a moving tree. And you could also bring your leg all the way up here. Okay? So whatever your full expression of your tree is today, go ahead, I offer you to play with it. You might want to stare at a focal point, which will be helpful. Sometimes in my tree, I'll even go down for a forward fold. You know, I have to put my hands down in the forward fold, and then I'll even come all the way back up out of it. So it's really, whatever is good for you. Great. And as you're ready, go ahead and come out of your tree. Sorry. I like tree a lot. Sorry about that. Okay, so play around with it, and as you feel ready, go to the other side. Your tree might be here. I invite you not to put pressure on any joints. So put a micro bend here. When people are here, I actually have them just lightly touch their heel above, just for balance. And I kind of remind them, this is just on its tippy toe. You could take it away completely, really, for that tree, okay? As it comes up, you almost want to point your toe, okay? And then in here, you could actually apply pressure, which will help you stabilize. So you can push into this foot into here, and that shouldn't cause you any harm as long as you have a micro bend in your knee, okay? You can pull it all the way up, okay? So it's your version of your tree today, whatever hand expression you need, any mudras, yada, yada, yada. Outstanding. You can move your tree. You can do a forward fold in your tree. And you can come back out. Okay? Outstanding. And as you're ready, come out of your tree. I'm going to invite you now to separate your legs. Do some nice gentle twists. Shaking it out. Go ahead and shake out your legs. And interlace your fingers. Go ahead and bring this knee up, just for a nice stretch. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now today I actually did the reverse. I started with the meditation, and I'm actually leaving you with an energizer, okay? And the reason I'm doing that today, oddly, is that you probably have to still go do things during the day. Okay, so here's your energizer. Ready? We're going to do this 10 times. Kind of feel like coffee after this. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, go ahead and take a few breaths. Last breath. Ready for another set? Okay, we're doing 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop, bend your knees a little bit. Focus on the exhale. Get rid of all the stale air. Let the breath come in naturally. You're gonna do it 2 more times. One more time. Now, on this last set, as you noticed, I blew out through pursed lips. I inhaled through my nose. So the next time, when we're done with this next set, we're gonna do 2 more sets of 10. After the last set of 10, that's the breathing technique we're gonna be doing, oddly standing up. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Two more breaths. One more. One more set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So go ahead and wiggle your fingers up. I'm gonna just think to myself, I'd like to have pure intentions in my thoughts with others and myself. And definitely with others. Had a little rant this morning on watch video. I was like, oh. So I was like, oh dear. And then purity in my speech for myself and with others. Oh, I need that one. And then purity in my actions. Okay. I want to thank you guys for all tuning in. I really appreciate it. Namaste. Tashi Delay. And peace be with you. Thanks, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Muna Meditation and More. The website, yeah, I know. I'm still building it. But I am working with SCORE. They're pretty awesome. And that website is www.O, M for Muna, M for Meditation, M for More, /store. Take care.